Breaking news from downtown. Just before sunrise, something fell or landed on what used to be.
It's shocking.
Caitlin Clark will be sidelined for at least 2 weeks
with a quad injury.
Footage has emerged how Caitlin Clark got hurt.
Fouls her for the fourth time. It's cheating.
Many WNBA fans are calling out the
invoice. I'll send that right now in QuickBooks. Just need to update my shiny new logo.
Behind the scenes.
It's shocking.
Caitlin Clark will be sidelined.
It's shocking.
Caitlin Clark.
It's shocking.
Caitlin Clark.
It's shocking.
Caitlin Clark will be sidelined for at least
Quad injury.
Footage
for at least 2 weeks
with a quad injury.
has emerged.
Quad injury.
Caitlin Clark got hurt.
Fourth time. It's cheating.
Many WNBA fans are calling out
Referees literally turned their back.
Said she'd bring the spotlight.
Referees literally turned their back.
They said she
the referee problem.
The referees literally turned their back.
They said
Referees literally turned their back.
they said she'd transform the league. They said she'd bring the spotlight. One said the league would fight her games. Caitlin Clark went WNB's targeted player
Caitlin Clark is the
targeted player on the court.
It's Caitlin. Behind the interest in the Caitlin Clark is behind Beaver and the interest in the WNBA.
Rookie, several intentional fouls.
Opponents alone.
Several intentional fouls.
And not by
Several intentional fouls.
And
several intentional fouls.
opponents alone. This wasn't defense. Pros moment. Something far more calculated. Dangerous.
Players, fans,
Dangerous.
after every
Dangerous.
single players fan about the referees, and they have shown that they're not to be horrible.
Battered, shoved.
To be horrible.
Game after
To be horrible.
battered, shoved, very fairness. The referee to a missed calls turned into blatant balls. Or while the whistle stayed
Felines head coach.
or while the whistle stayed silent.
Felines Felines head coach complained getting a whistle not being respected.
And league's golden tick. And just when
Getting a whistle not being respected.
and just when it and just when it couldn't get worse, the league
Getting a whistle not being respected.
and just when it and just when league's golden ticket was with a quad in triggering out that went unpunished, that got ignored to the effect none.
She will minimum.
None.
She will be out.
None.
Minimum following a
And Sophie Cunningham officials explanation. Official completely stonewalled.
It all coincidence. It all started to look like
Official completely stonewalled him.
it all started to look like more. It all started to look like, but here's the twist, no one's coincidence. It all started to look It all started to look coincidence. But here's the twist, no one saw. Reports are behind the officiating
WNBA eyeballs are watching.
behind the officiating system.
This is a W.
Behind
WNBA problem. Eyeballs are watching this league. It becomes growingly an ish officiate gasp on what it's going to be.
many of them barely have
Gasp on what it's going to be.
the refs. Many of them barely have G League.
Gasp on what it's going to be.
The refs.
Gasp.
Many of them barely experience. The rules don't come from a hit general manager how physical the league should be.
The referees not
How physical the league should be.
the referee.
how physical the
referees are not listening to them. They're not listening to the coaches. They're not listening to their stakeholders. Going to change. Whoever's running all stakeholders are
to be standing in the middle of a
are.
And Caitlin?
Are
to be standing where politics. Now, after weeks of viral back coaches, players, and fans facing a
Injury does anything.
facing a fire it can't ignore.
If this
Facing a fire it can't ignore.
If this injury take up interest, all the league can
With law whirling, with lawsuits being
the league can disappear overnight.
and with lawsuits with law swirling that the ref neutral to be moment everything changed is the type double C one Caitlin Clark
Buffed up, but
Caitlin Clark fan.
Caitlin Clark here on Kate that
Always been known for her toughness.
already got an injury.
Caitlin Clark
Already got an injury. Already got
always been known Iowa. She was drawing millions of redefining the modern game. Entered the WN high, not just for the energy struggling league.
2024 was
For the energy she'd inject into a struggling league.
2020.
Struggling league.
Unprecedented growth in the WNBA. So it can be attributed to an all-time college career.
Appeared in 100 between her with the Indiana Fever, the Iowa
And for a while it worked.
the Iowa Hawkeyes. She never missed one.
And for a while struggling league.
Unprecedented growth in the WNBA can be attributed to the basketball an all-time
Appeared in 100 and between with the Iowa Hawkeyes. She never.
And for a sword. And for a while and for a sword. Hostility. From pro debut. It pro debut teams, they were trying to break her.
Somebody who was responsible.
They were trying to break her.
Caitlin Clark.
Somebody who 6.5 of all W.
They were trying to.
Somebody who was responsible for 26.5 of season merchandise.
Caitlin Clark out at weighted, but ratings.
Game level of physics.
Ratings.
Game after game.
Ratings. Ratings.
Level of professional defense, punishment, court, floor, inofficial was accept. Whistle rarely came.
They just didn't.
Whistle rarely came.
The referee. Poster, they just didn't take care of the world with that. They were off against the Fever, no one down, bro. I'm here to tell you, yes,
Top protection. Top.
Yes, Caitlin Clark.
While any other.
Yes, Caitlin.
Top protection. Self. League. Just.
Yes, Caitlin Clark.
While any top protection self. And the league, she has adjustment only one.
Isn't that people are complaining? Isn't that people are
adjustment only one-sided. Adjustment only one-sided.
Isn't that people are because they haven't watched the before and issue.
Then came the injury. After push.
Understand, but there's clearly an issue.
Then came the. Through obvious minutes a game, Caitlin out with a minimum.
Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark has suffered a left
out with a left quad strain. 2 weeks minimum.
Indiana Fever.
Minimum.
Indiana Fever Clark has suffered strain and will be 2 weeks.
A brutal blow to the Indiana.
2 weeks.
A brutal.
Weeks.
A brutal blow to the Indiana Fever and to the WNBA's big.
2 weeks.
A brutal.